The Committee on Parole is reconvening at 9:18. Our next remote location is Jefferson Parish. With the staff at Jefferson Parish, please introduce yourself.
Deputy Marlborough with Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office. I have
Great.
Christopher Racadio with me.
Okay, and thank you, Officer Marlborough. And we're going to talk to Christopher now.
How you doing?
Morning, Christopher.
How you doing, sir?
Christopher, would you give us your full name and your Department of Correction ID?
Christopher Racadio, 611037.
Good morning, Mr. Racadio. You're here this morning for a revocation hearing. Do you have a revocation questionnaire in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Is everything on that questionnaire correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes, sir.
Did you have a preliminary, at your preliminary hearing, did you have an attorney?
No, sir.
Do you want an attorney present today at this revocation hearing?
I was supposed to have mine present today. My
Okay.
lawyer.
Yeah. Do we have a lawyer?
It's supposed to be like on the Zoom meeting.
Yes, yes, but your lawyer has not checked in. Do you want to proceed without your attorney?
Yes.
I
Yes.
would advise, if you have an attorney, I would advise you not to proceed without your attorney.
Okay, yeah. I'd rather my attorney be here, present.
Okay. Do you
On
have
Zoom
any,
meeting.
is he aware of this hearing today?
Say that again, sir.
Is your attorney aware of the hearing today?
Yes, yeah. I had gave him the information for the Zoom meeting to like log in and stuff. He's supposed to be on the Zoom.
And we've had no contact with any lawyer with this offense.
On his phone.
Oh, your father has logged in, but your attorney has not. So we're going to continue this hearing.
Okay.
You might want to get someone to contact your lawyer and ask him to contact us. If possible, we will get back with you today. But if your lawyer does not respond, this hearing would have to be rescheduled. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Can we continue without the lawyer, please?
Speaking.
Okay. That is left, sir, that is left up to the offender.
Yes, sir. We could proceed. We could proceed, sir.
Under advisement that you, if talk to the lawyer and you want to proceed.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ricardo, Mr. Ricardo, is that the way to pronounce it?
Yes, sir. Racadio.
Ricardo, okay.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ricardo, you're here today because you've been accused of violating the conditions of your parole. I will read the charges and you have an option to plead guilty. Guilty with a statement, not guilty with a statement. You understand?
Yes, sir.
The parole board is conducting a revocation hearing as you've been accused of violating the conditions of your parole supervision. Condition number 4. On January 6, 2020, you were arrested by Jefferson Parish for domestic abuse child endangerment. On March 15, 2023, charges of domestic abuse, child endangerment under the age of 13 present was now processed. How do you plead?
Not guilty. Not
Yes.
guilty of the statement.
Not guilty with the statement. Now, we have the sheet so I can introduce his name, father's name.
I'm sorry, man.
If the father is present and your father would like to speak, Ronaldo Racadio. And at the appropriate time, we will recognize your father. Until then, would his father please mute your mic? Mr. Racadio, your case has been assigned to me. So I'm going to start the questioning. Now, for clarity, your charges were not refused. Your charges were not dismissed. Your charges were now crossed. That means the district attorney felt that he didn't have enough evidence to get a conviction. Do you understand that as the reason why?
Yes, like to where my charges were dismissed.
No, sir, your charges were not dismissed. Your charges were now crossed. There is a difference.
Well, my charges were dismissed in court.
My information says your charges were now processed. They dismissed them based on evidence. So would you like to make a statement?
I mean, I don't understand how they were processed after being dismissed. That's what I don't understand.
All process, definition in all process is that because the district attorney felt there was not enough evidence, did not prosecute the case.
Correct.
Okay. So what's your statement? You said not guilty with the statement. Tell me exactly what happened.
Well, on my case,
Yes.
yes. So, I had got out of a relationship, like early November, and then I broke up with my girlfriend. So I moved back to my parents' house,
Yes.
and then it got to a point where she didn't want to break up, and she started stalking me at my residence. So it got to the point where I had a file for I went to the court to file for a restraining order because she kept stalking me. And she wouldn't leave me alone and she would keep texting me. So once I filed that, that's when she really got out of control and she stalked me the next day to where she followed me to my house. And after I filed restraining order, she followed me to my house and abused me right in front of my house, like on my driveway. And I have like the video for that, where she like punched me like 10 times, like for like 2 minutes straight on video. And I have a bunch of text messages saying she's gonna like try to put me in jail and stuff like that. So after that, I had a court date for my restraining order, and she was supposed to be there. But the day I got there, she was there, and all of a sudden my probation officer is there to arrest me for domestic abuse. So after she found out that I filed, I guess she filed one on her own. So I would get arrested and not be able to get my restraining order granted. So when I went to the courthouse to protect myself, my PO's there to arrest me and said there's a domestic abuse filed on me. And then he arrested me from right there.
Okay. I have all that information. Now, it's the same young lady, Miss Lee, who lent you $3,400 to get back on your feet after you got out? Is it?
They say that again, sir?
Is this the same young lady that you borrowed $3,400 from to get back on your feet after you got out of jail?
Well, I owe her when we broke up. I did owe her money. That's part of the money she's talking
No,
about.
just answer my question, yes or no?
Yes, I do owe her.
Okay, and did you pay her back?
No, sir.
Okay, now, you got arrested for domestic abuse, child endangerment with a child under the age of 13 present. What did you do?
And she filed a false police report on December 16th. That's when I mean December 5th, around 15th, I filed a restraining order. And the next day, that's when she stalked me to my house, and the police pulled up because I called the police because she was punching me in front of my driveway. And the police came. And when the police came, they arrested her, put her in handcuffs, and asked me if I wanted to press charges. I was like, no. I was telling the police that I filed a restraining order yesterday and she's over here punching me on my property. I just want her to stay away. So they gave her my extra copy of the restraining order to her and told her not to come back. And so
Racadio, when she punched you, what did you do?
I called the police.
And where, I'm looking at photos of bruises all over Miss Lee's body. Where did those come from?
I don't know where those pictures come from. Because on the 16th was the day she punched me and I called the police. And 5 days later, on I think the 21st, she filed a domestic abuse. But the last time I saw her was the day she punched me in front of my house on the 16th. So she just filed one just out of nowhere. The last time I saw her was on the 16th, but she filed a domestic abuse on the 21st, saying I came over to her house.
So you say she punched multiple times and you did not respond in any way?
No, it was on video.
Okay. I don't have that video, but I do have pictures of Miss Lee, and she is bruised from one end of her body to the other.
Well, she filed a domestic, I believe, on the 21st. Last time I saw her was the day I called the police. There was no involvement. I never saw her after the 16th. And she filed a domestic on the 21st, made a false police report on the 21st. And then I had to go to court January 6th for the restraining order. So I guess there was a warrant for my arrest. So as I'm going to the courtroom, I guess she called my probation officer to say, hey, Chris is going to court on the 6th. So I guess she used that. She told my probation officer that so I could get arrested and not get my restraining order granted.
So why would this young lady do that?
Cause she's stalking me. Cause she keeps stalking me and she won't leave me alone. And the last thing she would want is for me to have a stay away order on her to where she can't come near me. I'm just trying to protect myself. That's why I filed a restraining order.
I'm gonna read a paragraph from Ms. Lee's letter stating that on December 21st, 2022, Christopher came to my house, physically abused me, then left right after. This was the day that truly had enough and decided to be scared anyway and to protect me and my kids. So I got a restraining order, a protective order. So you say you did not see Ms. Lee after December 16th, is that correct?
That's correct. Because I already moved to my house and I called the police on the 16th and she was supposed to stay away.
Okay. So you
And
saying
I
that
never
Did not
came
go-
near her.
you did not go to her house on December 21st?
No, sir. She has cameras all outside her house. If I came over, I would be on camera. There's no evidence I came to her house on the 21st.
You went to the back door so you wouldn't be seen by the camera.
No, that's not true, sir. I did not come over.
Why?
Have you been using drugs since you've been out on parole?
No, ma'am.
No, you didn't smoke a little bit of weed? No.
No, ma'am.
What about drinking?
No, ma'am.
So how long were you all in a relationship?
Probably almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years, okay, and you moved into her house, right?
Correct.
Did you work all that time
Majority, yes, ma'am.
or the other time?
Yes.
How did it come to be that you owed her $3,500?
Because I'd help her with the bills and stuff. And sometimes I was the one paying most of the bills, but sometimes I'll tell her to let me borrow money.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You were paying the bills, but she, make it more clear. I'm not in y'all relationship, so I'm not clear on that, on how things were rolling.
Well, I was paying for like majority of things, and when I'm low on money, I would borrow money from her, and I'd pay her back. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, oh, okay. During this time, were you ever drug screened by probation and parole?
Yes, ma'am.
You were?
Yeah, when I first got on parole, on parole, I was getting drug screened. Yes, ma'am.
All of them, what were the outcome of drug screen?
I'll pass all my drug screens, ma'am.
All your drug screens, okay, oh, good, good. So y'all were in a 2-year relationship, and y'all have kids together?
No, ma'am. I had stepkids.
Okay, what were the ages of her kids?
11 and 7 at the time.
Okay, so what happened in the relationship that made you know it was time to leave? What was the turning?
Because when I realized I was in a toxic relationship, we'd always break up and I'd come back. It was a repetitive thing the past 2 years to where, every time we break up and I'll move out, she would apologize and say she would change her ways and I would always move back in. But it just happened too many times throughout the year to where I just thought it wasn't ever going to be fixed. So when I decided to leave for good, that's just when she really went crazy. And when she realized that I didn't want to be with her again, when I filed a restraining order, she started stalking my house every day, just being parked in front of my house.
That would break up. What kind of stuff was going on? Y'all would break up. What was that like? Put us there.
We would always just pick fights over the smallest stuff all the time. Stuff we shouldn't be fighting for, like small stuff. And it's like she always wanted to pick a fight. It's like it was just too much picking a fight over small stuff, like unnecessary stuff. And I'm over here working every day.
Example, yeah, give me an example there.
Sometimes it'll be about bills. Sometimes she'll pick fights, just stuff I'd forget to do, like going to the store, just small knick-knack stuff that really shouldn't be a big deal.
All right, thank you for answering my question.
Mr. Thing?
Yes.
Right.
Right now with Mr. Bernardo, please open your mic and give us your statement.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Racadio.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Thank you, and thank you for your time. I just wanted to clarify some dates, some timeline dates of all this happening since Christopher's lawyer wasn't able to join us today. So On December 15th, Christopher files a restraining order against Ms. Trang Lee. On December 19th, that's when she was arrested, and there is an open case on this. She was never brought to jail, but she was charged, and that case is still open. On the 21st, she files her restraining order, she files her complaint, her domestic violence complaint. And then on January 6th, when Christopher went to court for his TRO, that's when he got arrested. So those were the exacts of all of the exact timeline. I just want to I thought he had them confused a little bit, but that's the exact timeline. Really quick, on the evidence that we had against Ms. Trang Lee on the case, we had our own evidence that was brought into discovery. The video of her hitting Chris, the tracker on the phone, the 2 months of text, all that stuff was given to his probation officer. So I don't know why you guys don't have it.
We do not.
Is there any way my lawyer can send it to you? Because the probation officer should have got it, because that was all in the discovery part of the case. And in the case, there was no determination was made, because the only thing that the court had was a police report of that she filed. That was it. There was no other discovery. There was no picture. The picture that you guys were looking at that none of us have seen, that was never submitted. That wasn't part of the state's discovery. So the probation office and the courts got two different things. So this lady is obviously really good at what she's doing, because she's done this before. And I just wanted to bring that clear, because nothing adds up, because what the state had, when the state dismissed the charges, because there was no discovery. Now, how are you guys looking at something totally different than what the state has? That's what's confusing me right now. That's what's confusing Chris, because obviously she's playing this from multiple directions.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you for your time. I just wanted to get that out there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There's Mr. Racadio,
Yes, sir.
there is a motion on the floor that we continue this case until we get further evidence of information and documentation that was submitted to your parole officer.
Okay.
Understand the motion?
Okay, so who do I submit the evidence to?
Well, we will take that.
Okay.
We'll get that. We'll contact your parole officer and see if there's any additional evidence and information that would help us determine the outcome of this case.
Okay, well, I have one thing. Like a couple weeks ago, when I saw my parole officer, he said he was leaving me, like he was going to federal parole or something. So I don't know if I'm assigned to a probation officer right now, but
your parole officer has a district manager, and that district manager knows everything, and we can get the information if it's available.
okay, so I can submit all the evidence to the supervisor of the parole building I'm at?
They should already have it, huh? Your dad said they got it during recovery. Discovery.
Well, yeah, they should. I mean, the courts have the discovery, but like my PO, I guess y'all don't have it because my PO didn't have it.
Yeah, we can ask them to get it for them.
Deal to me?
Oh, it's a good call.
I'm not.
Okay, okay.
I just want to make sure how I can give it to y'all.
Huh?
You can continue, you can let them know.
Yeah, we can set a probation. We can set a parole line. Well, then I'll vote not to revoke.
Oh, okay. You don't want to continue, you want not revoking this reason?
I'm at. Can we have a motion for an executive session?
I second.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Racadio?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we had a confidential conversation, and we did locate in the court records pending charges against Ms. B, and they have not been resolved. So what we think we're gonna do is, we're gonna continue your case, first of all, so we can get all the evidence and all the information concerning your case that was turned over to the parole officer by your father.
Okay.
I also think, since you're represented by counsel, it would be best for you to have your counsel present at this hearing.
Okay.
As soon as we get that information, we will notify you and your attorney, and we will reschedule this as soon as possible, at the earliest date,
Okay, that sounds good.
okay? So, are we ready to vote?
Yes.
Ms. Wise?
Based on the need for further information, based on the testimonies today, which triggered a need for more information, we're going to continue this case until that information is obtained.
Okay.
I concur. I think it's in your best interest.
And that there will be a no contact order against her. You continue to not have any contact with her.
Okay, that sounds good.
Ricardo, you have received 3 votes to continue this until we get further information and your attorney be present. You have a good day.
Okay, thank you, sir.